excited because we finally get you back here. Where in the world are you right now?
Oh, I'm actually in Liverpool in the UK.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
good. Well, we'll finally get you back in the US here because I know people have been waiting to hear these songs. You got to be excited to sort of unveil all this to the world, right?
Oh, honestly, I'm so excited. I just can't wait to get back on tour. I think especially I'm visiting some new places this time too, so I'm excited to explore. And yeah, I just can't wait to get back on stage and sing and dance with everyone. So yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we're deep in the heart of Texas here in Dallas, so I know we're getting you here as well. And it's always a good time here and such a appreciative audience. So you've got a lot to look forward to coming up.
Oh no, I'm so looking forward to it. Yeah.
Yeah, and what a blessed time for you right now. I mean, you've just got so many things going on, so many iconic songs that you sung on, and people you hear your songs all over the place. In fact, you probably hear them probably when you're going through the airports and grocery stores and things like that, right?
Yeah, well, do you know what? It doesn't happen to me all that much, but recently when I was in the UK, yeah, one of my tracks was in duty free for the first time, and that's the first time that's ever happened to me before, and I was like, what? Yeah, when you kind of gauge something, I was like, I kind of recognize that voice, and I was like, whoa, who's done that? So it's I don't know, it's amazing when I hear it just out and about. Yeah.
Mhm.
Hmm.
But it's the best kind of fame too, right? Because you're actually, you can go through the duty free and you're totally fine.
Yeah,
And
chilling.
yet, you can have so many people listening to you and that's probably the best place to be.
Yeah, it's a nice, I just have a pretty normal life really. But
Yeah.
then when I'm on stage, it doesn't feel so, yeah, it's quite
Hmm.
amazing to be up there.
Yeah. And when did you first feel like that you had the gift, or when did you feel like, all right, this is what I'm going to do with my life?
Oh, do you know what? Honestly, I was always extremely shy. I mean, when I was a kid, I always sort of sang to myself for therapy. It was kind of, I'd go off into my room and I wouldn't be performing to anybody. It'd just be me with Whitney Houston or Mariah on and just singing away. So I always enjoyed singing. Me and my mum sang around the house when I was a kid, but I was a late bloomer, I think, really, with my confidence and like beginning to sort of decide, that this might be something I'd want to pursue. But I've been in many bands before, many other people's projects, not mine. And yeah, only my first solo single was in 2020. So yeah, slow, and kind of like yeah, building kind of quietly in the behind the scenes.
Absolutely. But I think a lot of people will find that inspirational. And so, what kind of advice would you give to those singers that are thinking about doing this, but they're not sure because they
Oh,
you seem to be doing it all right?
yeah, I mean, do you know what? Honestly, I was in like function bands and wedding bands and things like that for years and years and years, and I just had some great people that I worked with that slowly kind of I think it brought me out of my shell. But I do think the best thing about everybody is that we're all an individual. So there's only one of all of us. So I think that if you just try not to give up because there's something special that I think needs to be shared. And I think sometimes it can feel like a bit of an uphill struggle, but like, I think yeah, just perseverance, I think. And also just like that little bubble of self belief, that little spark, keep it light.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm.
Well said. My co-host here in American football is Drew Pearson. He's one of our great Dallas Cowboys. He caught the
Oh,
Hail Mary and won the Hall of Fame. And we all know the Hail Mary term now. And so we talk about those Hail Mary moments, the moment in your life or career where you just kind of had to go for it and it worked out for you. What do you suppose that was for you?
oh, do you know what? I started doing top line writing, and I was doing ghost vocals for other people, and sometimes that I wouldn't stay on the track. And then there was an artist in the UK called Example who basically I heard one of these tracks. I was just going to be a ghost vocalist on it. And he really he was like, I don't know what you're doing with your life. I'm not sure whereabouts you live, but would you like a hand? And he just really helped me out and brought me into more sessions. And then I obviously from that, the people that I met, the sort of springboard of that kind of really, yeah, pulled me into the world that I'm in now, really. Yeah, so I think it was kind of like a bit of a butterfly effect, really, how it happened. But yeah, I think there's been many in my career. There's been moments of kind of, obviously Escape for me was probably the breakout song that I think people really got to know me for in 2022, I think it was now.
Mhm.
And that song was written, yeah, over lockdown. We didn't really know what was going to happen with it. And yeah, subsequently it was made into the beautiful song that it is today by the amazing Cascade and Mouse. And I just, yeah, you never really know. I think you just kind of have to sort of, I don't know, I think just follow that thread, the thing that kind of gives you that little spark of joy. Like I said, it's like you never know where it's going to take you.
Yeah, that's true. And part of that is mindset. And we talked about that on the show too. Is there something that you keep in mind or tell yourself that kind of keeps you on the right path always? Because, as creative types, we're very hard on ourselves.
I know. I think I'm really self-critical as well. Yeah, I think it's hard sometimes to quiet those voices, but I think I don't know. I write things from like my own personal experience and also trying to connect with others. So I think that if I can create something or write something that maybe makes people feel like they're not as alone, then maybe that's kind of me sort of doing my job. And I think for me it feels like it's a cathartic process for me to definitely get things out there. And I know that when it's out there, it's kind of up to everybody else how it does. But I think, I think for me, I try and write as authentically as possible. And I think if I feel proud of something, regardless of how it does, because it feels authentic, then I feel like that's good. That's good for me. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is it that inspires you right about now? 'Cause there's a lot going on in the world.
Oh, there's so much going on. I mean, behind the scenes in my personal life, I've had quite a lot going on. There's some grief that I'm going through. There's been some breakups. There's kind of just real life, actual things that are going on in the world. And, I think it's drawing from just, yeah, real life. And also, I don't know, trying to find a way to sort of say things, not as, obviously as I would, but trying to play around with lyricism a little bit to, I don't know. Hopefully, it sounds like I'm kind of having a conversation with the listener to a degree, I think, and I just think that people can also bring their own meaning to lyrics too, which, is so wonderful. I know that I do with music when I listen to, but yeah, just real life stuff. If I'm honest, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, and of course, you've got this new single out with Millennium, which is great. And
Thank you.
Nick is one of the nicest guys, so
Isn't he?
he's the
Oh,
best.
yeah, he's so nice. And his whole team, oh, they're just, yeah, such easy people to work with and like really, really nice, genuine people. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But I
Mm.
believe you have a new single coming out this week, right?
I do. Well, yes, I do indeed. And I am extremely excited about it. Yeah. Do you want me to talk
Yeah,
about that? Do
tell
you
us a
want a
little bit
little
about
bit
how
of
all that
info?
happens. It's a big one.
Well, yeah, so it's me and Nelly Furtado. Yeah, which is I still can't believe it really, if I'm honest. I'm absolutely honored to work with her. It was a track that I wrote with a really good friend of mine called Lizzie, back again over lockdown. A lot of, writing was happening around that time. And I always loved it. It was one of those songs that I didn't really know really what I knew I was going to put it out, but I didn't know when. And Melly covered one of the songs that I do, and we reached out and said, I don't suppose there would ever be a chance that you'd like to do something together. And they came back and said yes, to my surprise. Yeah, and we sent the track over just as a bit of an idea because I've absolutely loved it, and I just thought it would be amazing if we could do a duet. So maybe that's what we've done.
Wow. Hey,
Mm.
sometimes you got to ask the question, right?
Do you know what? Honestly, it is that case of like, if you don't ask, you don't get. And I think for me throughout my career, I think again, another common thread is like, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Yeah,
You know,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah.
And then of course we have these big fall shows coming up
Yes.
and it's going to be so much fun. There's so much good music to choose from. What are we going to hear in the set?
Ooh, so there is going to be a mixture of obviously the collaborations that people know and love, some of my tracks as well from my last album, Dusk, or my first album, Dusk. But there's also, I have been busy working away and yeah, I have a little body of work together. So I'm going to pick a few from there that I might show everybody. So I'm excited to do that. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
hmm.
And are there any particular places that you're excited to see? Because I know you haven't been to some of these towns, and of course we get you back in the great state of Texas here.
Oh, I know. I'm excited to be back in Dallas. I know because studio at the factory is where I'm going to be.
Yes.
So very excited. But honestly, I just love getting out on the road, and I know that. I mean, there's a few places, like you say, that I've never been to before. So I'm hoping that I have a few days either side to do a bit of exploring because I like to do that.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, I know in LA was like the first, I did my first ever solo show at the Roxy there last December. So I'm excited to get back there because it's kind of the site of where it sort of for me in my solo way began kind of recently, really. But I'm just so looking forward to getting out there and yeah, and meeting new people and singing and dancing with new people. And yeah, and some people who've been supporting me along the way as well, which is amazing.
Yeah. That's I know it's going to be a lot of good energy. It's going to be a good party. So why not,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, honestly, yeah.
Oh, that's great. And so when you run into these people and that love your music, what are the collaborations they ask you about the most?
Oh, do you know what? I think a lot of people ask me how I ended up working with some of the DJs that I have,
Mhm.
and I think like notably, obviously, where you are comes up quite a lot, and the collaborations with John Summit, and it's a that one is a true knock-on effect from Escape because he did the remix of Escape, and a pretty similar team that wrote the top line for Escape wrote Where You Are's top line as well, along with me as one of the writers as well, and we sent that over. Then that was it made it into the track it is that people know today. And then from that, obviously, we worked together again on Shiver. So I think that, yeah, telling people the kind of behind the scenes stories. I mean, maybe one day I should do a series, but
Yeah, absolutely.
but
Hey, you never
it's
know.
yeah, you don't. And you know, I think like the knock-on effect from like one track to the next, and then the degree of separation, I suppose, when you start working within the dance music world or any different kind of genre worlds, you realize how kind of connected things are. And then I'm fortunate enough to work with some of the people that I have, you know, yeah. But mainly I get asked kind of like the sort of sequence of events, you know, like how did all of it happen? And yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, let's throw it out there in the world. Who is it that you'd like to work with coming up?
Who would I like to work
Yeah,
with?
some dream collaborations.
Oh, oh my days. I mean, you know, obviously, Dare to Dream Nelly, and I'm honestly, I've always wanted. I've been a fan for forever. I mean, I'm so over the moon for that collaboration. But I mean, I've always, honestly, I love Bonobo. I know that's kind of
Yeah,
going a little bit more out of sort of the EDM realm. I know there's
yeah.
been like a bit of a crossover with Chris Lake and Bonobo recently with Alexis Roberts, who, by the way, is also going to be one of my support artists on tour.
Oh, good, good.
Yeah,
That'll be great.
yeah.
Mm.
But I mean, I don't know. There's so many people. I'd love to do something anima if you know if he's free. That would be
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
Hey, we got
um,
to throw it out there, right? You never
I
know.
know, you know, but I just think that there's so many artists and it's so interesting to see everybody's kind of change of music throughout the EDM world and kind of obviously drum and bass is becoming a big thing in the States now from the UK too. And yeah, I don't know. I think more, I suppose, DJs, I don't know who else. There's loads. Chris Lake, I'd love to do one with Chris as well.
Yeah,
I think he's amazing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there's so many people to collaborate with and so many great songs to come. I know, and I know you're probably already thinking about the next album, right?
I am actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Good.
my eyes are obviously on this next single,
Yeah.
but yeah, just the new body of work I'm really excited about because it's, you know, again, it's a different period of my life, and as much as I try to, I like to write as much as I can, so I'm really excited
Oh,
about
that's
that.
amazing. Well, we're so proud of you. So happy that you've been able to do all the great things that you've done. We know where there's a whole lot more coming, and we're looking forward to seeing you back here. Uh,
Oh,
so everybody, come check out the show, get the tickets early, and look forward to seeing you here.
thank you so much. Hope to see you at the show.
Thank you so much. We'll see you then. All right,
Bye.
bye bye.